To face the challenges of today's operating environment, first responders and humanitarian workers depend on information interoperability. However, before the interoperability can exist in a deployed environment, it must first exist throughout the entire product development cycle to include the design, engineering, prototyping, and deployment phases. The Network-Centric Operations Industry Consortium and its members produced a set of technical patterns and business processes that will enable interoperability to exist between industry and government laboratories to achieve joint collaboration, analysis, and experimentation with faster time to completion, improved effectiveness, significant cost savings, and substantially reduced risk of failure. The concept is embodied in a 4-level interoperability matrix. The first level pertains to the data transport means or the network. The network alone does not ensure interoperability. Hardware, such as switches and routers, require common configurations and management to ensure data is seamlessly moving from user to user. The second level envelops the presentation capabilities and multimedia. Given the diversity of data contributors on a global basis, the presentation of data and information is the key component to greater situational awareness. The third level is related to the middleware environment. This is where data from disparate locations and formats are integrated to form a common operating picture for experimentation, demonstrations, and exercises. Level 4 is where practitioners can participate in the exercise with their unique tools and applications to be compatible and interoperable with other laboratories that follow the same patterns and processes. The value proposition for industry and its customer community is the reduction in time and cost required to facilitate distributed demonstrations and experiments. The NCOIC Interoperability Matrix enables companies, organizations, and practitioners to configure their distributed environments quicker and with a higher assurance of interoperability, which equates to substantial cost savings for both the users and industry. In the spring of 2010, members of the NCOIC from the United States and Europe conducted a pilot test on the interoperability levels 1 and 2, demonstrating disparate labs and users working in a common environment. In the early summer, that same working group demonstrated interoperability at level 3, the middleware level, utilizing a more complex scenario. The results were significant.
Our team was asked to come up with an approach to reduce the time, costs, and risks for integrating laboratories. And how we approached this global challenge was to focus on the infrastructure, the business processes, and the technical requirements that enable interoperability to occur. What we developed was a framework that included an agreed-upon set of processes and interfaces that will be used to rapidly integrate labs and reduce risk. To validate our findings, we performed 3 global demonstrations connecting laboratories in the United States and Europe. And what we achieved was a 2/3 reduction in cost and labor. 2/3. Also, and this is important, as part of this effort, the NCOIC received a ruling from the State Department stating that this lab interoperability project and all the activities are within the public domain. This ruling is called an approved commodity jurisdiction. This is a key milestone for interoperability, as we envision this will help further speed up global lab interoperability activities in the future. Any company can use the framework our team developed, and it will result in lower costs for industry teaming and shorten the time to market for product and services. There's also an added benefit of an overall reduction in risk due to the benefits of using a common approach. Industry will now be able to focus on the development of tools and applications rather than reinventing the infrastructure every time we work together to do a modeling and simulation event, such as a demonstration, test, or experiment.
In an era of global and economic interdependence, fierce competitors must become fierce collaborators, and the NCOIC Interoperability Matrix for laboratory collaboration is a required step in the delivery on the promise of network-centric operations.